A very good day to you and welcome to today's episode of The Big Question. My name is Simon Irungu and yes, this is The Big Question. So many things happening in the country right now, including Jadil going live every Monday, every Wednesday and every Friday. I saw you there, Prof, with Jadil going live.
Yeah, with the challenges.
With a few challenges, but we are working our way towards addressing these challenges.
Yes.
Okay, on top of all that, on the things that are happening in the country, Uhuru seems to be missing in actions when it comes to Raila's campaign.
Yes.
What do you think might be the reason that Uhuru is missing in action?
First of all, one who might want to ask, was that the intention that he goes out to campaign for him?
But people used to say that Uhuru, towards the last months to the general election, that Uhuru is going to come out and he's going to be campaigning publicly for Raila, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
If that had been the intention, and we still have 2 months, there's time he can do it. Okay. Or if he's not going to do it finally, it could be a change of tact, born out of certain realities, perhaps.
People are arguing and saying that the reason might be, as a result of the fallout with the people, his popularity within the mountain. Might that be the case?
But Uhuru has always had that challenge of popularity from the time this project started, if you are calling it a project.
And what might be the genesis of him losing popularity during his last term?
You know, the people of Mount Kenya have not been very happy with Uhuru Kenyatta, and he knows it. And they don't have any reason for that, but they're just not happy with him. I'm not thinking it's getting any worse. Perhaps it could get slightly better.
And people are actually saying that if Uhuru is going to be playing a role in Raila's campaign, he might actually be bringing damage towards Raila's campaign.
Yeah, and that's perhaps why he's not openly campaigning for Raila.
Okay.
But the argument I wanted to advance was, who tells you the best way for Uhuru to help Raila, to assist Raila, is to go out in public rallies? He could gain more by doing it behind the scenes.
Perhaps state machineries?
Yeah, he has so much at his disposal. You know, if you are a diehard opponent of Uhuru's, or you are a very influential person from Kitale and you are a Kikuyu, the diaspora, it's very easy for Kikuyu to get 10, 20 of you and bring them somewhere to Transmara. Here he has a home there. And invites leading Kikuyu in the diaspora, from Kilgori, from Narok, Kajiado, Uasin Gishu, Trans Nzoia, and invite them to his home, his ranch, whatever it is in Transmara, or Mombasa, Voyage, or State House, Mombasa, or Eldoret, and talk to them in Gikuyu over the soup.
Like what he used to do in
2017
campaign.
Yes, and he talks to them. That can be more effective than him going to a public rally. Uhuru hosting serious opinion leaders somewhere. Going to Sagana quietly and meeting church leaders from Nyeri can be more effective than going to a public rally in Karatina.
Now, apart from having the Kenyatta name with him that you say that is something powerful that Uhuru is currently holding.
Yes.
Now, what else apart from that will he be remembered with among the Kikuyu people?
Apart from being a Kenyatta?
Yeah.
When the dust has settled, when this cheap assessment is over, when people sit back to look at what Uhuru will have done for them, especially the Kikuyu, they will never forgive themselves.
Now, from where you're standing, how will you evaluate Uhuru's performance in the central region?
I am saying, when this cheap assessment is over, when the dust has settled, when the Kikuyus look back, they will never forgive themselves for hating Uhuru Kenyatta.
But people are coming
because I'm saying, look at what he has done for them in terms of infrastructure. It's unimaginable. Superb roads, going up to village level. I went there for a funeral in Muranga and I couldn't believe the level of development in terms of infrastructure, especially roads, is out of this world. When Uhuru has gone and people look back and see what effort through Peter Kimunya, the agriculture minister, have tried to do to revive coffee farming. As I speak to you today, the price of coffee is, people can't even believe it. What Uhuru has done through Kimunya for milk farmers, pyrethrum farmers, And you can go on and on. Tea farmers, the restructuring the tea sector. These are things for which people, especially around the mountain, are going to remember Uhuru Kenyatta.
Okay, now,
When the politics is over.
okay.
Yes.
Now, despite infrastructure, despite everything he has done for them in terms of infrastructure, people are saying that the economy, living currently, it's difficult compared to previous years, and the people from the mountain are actually blaming this on Uhuru. Should that be the case? Should people blame all this on Uhuru?
First of all, let's just agree the economy is doing badly. That is a fact. Now, once you agree that the economy is doing badly, you look at the possible causes or reasons. And many people blame Uhuru Kenyatta directly, which is right, because this is your government. You expect government to perform even in miracles. So you have every right to blame him. And indeed, it is true you should blame him, because there are many things he should have done he has not done to mitigate the suffering. But equally, there are many things he has done which, if Uhuru had not done, for example, the people complaining now would possibly be dead, not even complaining. During COVID, government came up with measures to assist people. If they were not there, perhaps those crying now would not even be crying, would be somewhere dead, perhaps. Okay. You get what I'm saying? So there's so much Uhuru could have done to end the suffering of Kenyans. There is so much he has done. But the second way of looking at the problems you are facing is from a global perspective. Some of the things are things over which Uhuru Kenyatta can do nothing. Uhuru Kenyatta can do nothing about the oil, price of crude oil in the international market, which has gone over 3-4 times what it was. There's nothing Uhuru could do about the Russia-Ukraine war. And people are saying it is not affecting. How is it not affecting us here? In fact, the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war is yet to be felt in terms of food shortages. It's yet to be felt.
If it doesn't come to an end soon.
Yeah, it is yet to be felt. Even if it came to an end today, the damage will be with us for a while. Once this crop, across the world, some crop is over, and you cannot factor in Russia and Ukraine and whatever, the whole matrix of food production, export and import and so forth, that kind of matrix of food. People will feel it for another 2-3 years, even if the war was over today. Prices of oil. So this, and there are many other things. And then there was the COVID pandemic. And therefore, looking at the economic challenges we face and saying all this is because of Uhuru, can be forgiven. We can understand, but it's not entirely true.
Now, what would you say in terms of tax? When it comes to tax, people are saying that they are being overtaxed, they are being taxed from east to west, being taxed from all corners.
That's what I said. I said there's so much this government can do to mitigate the suffering of Kenya. One of them is taxation. One of them, for example, is like oil. Why is oil so expensive? Fuel expensive in this country because government has put all manner of levies there. For every liter of petrol, so much for road levy, so much for this. Government can reduce some of those taxes and levies on a liter of petrol, and it will go down. It's happening in other countries, Ethiopia up here. So there's much the government can do, like taxation. You get it? Government can stop or suspend certain projects. Government can borrow more wisely, borrow less commercial loans, and go more for concessional loans, long-term loans. But government has been quick to borrow commercial loans. So there's a lot Uhuru could do to make this country better. But there's still a lot over which he had no control. So it's a mixed thing.
With only about close to 2 months left, is there anything that he can do that he might be actually be remembered for, just within the remaining months?
That's not how government works. It's very difficult to bring quick fix solutions using government ways and machinery and procedures. Some things might require legislation. Parliament is just about to go home. I think they're already home for what do you call it? Indefinite recess. You know? So many things, major changes, you have to involve Parliament. The Parliament is almost out. So there's not much he can do. But through executive orders here and there, he can do 1 or 2 small things.
Okay, now let's drift back
the best gift Uhuru can have to this country is to ensure smooth transition.
Okay.
That's a gift that lets him ensure from where he sits within his powers what government can do, what state can do, to ensure there's proper election, this proper transition, smooth handover. And if his gods are on his side, if his stars are aligned, the succession plan he has works. In the long run, it will be very good for this country to have a president preside over smooth transition, transfer of power, and ideally, even the person he has in mind to win. Sometimes it's good for the country.
Okay, now let's drift back to the mountain, and we see Mother Karua coming out very strong, coming out in a very popular way. Is she outdoing Uhuru when it comes to popularity within the mountain?
It could be intentional. These are big politicians. Uhuru and Raila are smart politicians. You know, since Uhuru is hated in the mountain, you could shield him by using Mother Karua.
So you admit to the hate that he's receiving?
Yeah, of course, I've said that in this show.
Okay.
I've told you people hate him. And you could shield Uhuru from the hate so that it bounces on Mother Karua. And it's working. I think it's already working. People are looking, they're not looking at Uhuru. They're looking beyond Uhuru. And they are looking at succession politics. And they're saying we are safe if Mother Karua is there.
Okay.
So it could be intentional.
The other day, William Ruto came out in an apologetic way, coming and apologizing to the president. Now, is there something that might actually happen within the remaining months towards the election?
I don't see anything
between
happening.
him and the president?
No. It's too late. The president and Uhuru have already parted ways.
Okay.
They will meet somewhere in the future. People meet. In the future, they'll be sharing tea and laughing. A cup of tea, maybe a drink if they drink. But not now.
Now, if Uhuru decides...
Now the die is cast.
Okay. Now, if Uhuru decides that he doesn't want anything to do with this upcoming election, how are things going to play out? How is the game going to be?
In fact, for both players, for both Ruto and Raila, they don't need Uhuru in the way people think. All Uhuru needs to do is, if he says he's not going to take part, he should let system just play out. They should not block a candidate. They should not favor a candidate. And Ruto will be happy. Raila will be happy. So both the players don't need the support of government. They don't. They just need government to be neutral. Raila is doing well. He will beat Ruto, according to me, hands down, without support of state. Yeah.
Now, as we come to towards the end of the show, how is this election going to be different for the Kikuyus compared to previous years?
You know, for the first time, Kikuyus don't have a candidate. Since independence.
Jimmy Wanjigi?
Jimmy Wanjigi is not a candidate. In future, he's my friend, very good friend of mine. And he knows I like him.
Mwangi Wairia?
He's also my friend, good friend of mine. And he knows I like him. We take tea together. He knows it. But this is not their year. This year is the year of Ruto and Raila Odinga. And the Kikuyus are not going to look at 2022. The Kikuyus will be casting their vote with the eyes on post-22. And that's why this game is over. I don't know why people don't understand. The Kikuyus are having to look at past Ruto and past Raila, and they are saying, between Mother Karua and Rigathi Gachagua, whom can we present to the country as a presidential candidate?
Okay.
Irrespective of when. Between Mother Karua and Gachagua. Nani tutaweza kutembea naye Kenya? Tukiambia wa Kenya, sisi wa Kikuyu tunawapatia huyu mpatie kura. Ni Rigathi Gachagua ama ni Mother Karua? And the answer is, I mean, people say it's a no-brainer. You know, Kikuyus will go with Mother Karua. There's no comparison between Mother Karua and Rigathi Gachagua. So for that reason, Ruto has lost the election.
Okay, so now finally, when we look at how the Kikuyus used to look at this, how they are going to be voting in this upcoming election, are the numbers drifting from William Ruto to Raila's side?
You know, the remaining time is not easy for the numbers to leave Ruto to Raila. In terms of Mount Kenya,
yeah,
there's not enough time. But politics is a strange game. Already the numbers are moving. Ruto is going down. Anybody, even Ruto himself knows. He knows his numbers are going down. How far down they'll go, I cannot tell. But certainly what I can tell is the numbers for Ruto on the mountain will go down enough for him to lose the election. You know they can go below that for him to hate the Kikuyus forever. But they can just go down low enough for him to lose. But there's a possibilities they can go so down that he can never believe the Kikuyus that he was dealing with. He will be shocked.
Okay.
Come 9th, 10th there, the numbers begin drifting from Wadaya constituency, Madera where Nani comes from, Kigumo in Muranga, and you say like, huh? What? Raila Odinga, 20,000. William Ruto, 6,000. What? In 2007, I knew Raila was winning because election results began drifting in from Rift Valley. Raila Odinga, 41,000. Mwai Kibaki, 300. So what? The Kalenjins are all shifted to Raila, and I knew the game was over. So for this election, anybody waiting for the results will be a fool. Just wait for the elections isolated from Mount Kenya. Matokeo, Madera constituency, Uhuru Kenyatta, Nani Raila Odinga, so much. After 4 or 5, sample from Muranga, Kiambu 102, Gatundu South, go to Kigumo, Muranga, go to Tetu Nyeri, sample about 6, 7, and I tell you the results of the election. I won't even wait. I just switch off my radio. I know Raila has lost or has won. If you see Kikuyus results drifting in, tending towards 50-50, 50-50, as they begin to come in from different constituencies, you just know Ruto has lost. Okay, and that's what will happen.
Let's wrap up the conversation with that. Well, till you do have the next episode of The Big Question, my name is Simon Irungu. Enjoy the rest of your day.